the president of Burundi recently said that there were conversations with Rwanda, and Rwanda made commitments that he claims Rwanda did not honor. If you could shed some light around that, and this relates to the suspects linked to 2015.
Around something that didn't happen.
Okay, I think that's very important to understand because he made his claims, yeah.
Well, let's be clear. That where did that happen and where?
So from what you are saying, it sounded like there had been conversations between the two countries, bilateral engagements.
What time? The time matters.
I think that was not clear from what he said.
Everything is not clear.
Okay.
I don't know how you can answer that.
Yeah,
because there is no commitment we ever made that we will not fulfill.
Okay.
Not with the president of Burundi, not with anyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Unless something comes up specifically, then I will answer.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's now clear enough.
But maybe you might find one night he dreamed and thought that happened.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember when we talked, and actually is the one who did not do what he. I think I have ever said this at the beginning, when the Burundi forces went to the north of Kivu, north in Goma and other things. When we learned it, we learned about it through intelligence. I called, I'm the one who called the president of Burundi that time and asked him, I said, I think that I have heard there are forces of Burundi going to our north Kivu. I said, why would he be, and I told him, I said, there have also been these accusations that Burundi in a way has been associated with this FDLR. Much earlier before there had been some, you remember in the Nyungwe area when there were reports and there were incursions from Burundi, some group called this, they have some name. FLN. They are coming from there. I said, but I have heard on top of that, association of Burundi with FDLR. Now I'm hearing that you are sending forces to North Kivu. I said, President, is this true? The man said, no. It was like, who told you? There is nothing like that. In fact, he insisted, he told me I should cross-check my information. And those people who just want to cause problems must be people who told me lies, and so on and so forth. I said, President, I will take your word, much as I think the reports I received were credible. But I will take your word for it. I mean, a couple of weeks after, they were captured in the North Kivu. Yes, I had discussed it with him. So I don't tell lies like he did to me. I don't. So on that one, I don't know which meeting or commitment or whatever he's referring to.
Thank you, Mr. President, on that. Finally, if you may allow, recently there has been reports about a planned oil refinery by Dangote in the East African region, in Kenya specifically. And then reports also, were saying Kenya is, he had offered a stake, 30% stake. And then they mentioned Kenya, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and other interested countries. Has there been such a conversation on Rwanda potentially acquiring a stake in that project, that oil refinery? Just in case. Thank you.
In a way, there has been. But it is too early to talk about the details. Because I think it is work in progress. Things are still being thought out. But what I can say is that Rwanda would be very happy to be part of that kind of investment.
Thank you, Excellency. I'll take another question. Yes, Miriam? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mariam and I'm a content creator from Morocco. I have been cycling around the continent for the last 3 years, crossing 34 African countries. And while traveling I saw how...
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And while cycling I saw how much it was challenging and expensive to cross borders. And
especially Rwanda.
Rwanda was visa-free, so I was glad this...
I thought it was challenging in terms of mountains and...
No, the physical challenge was easier than the borders crossing.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so while crossing, I saw how this limits African connection with each others. Yeah. But we saw how Rwanda was example of African interaction and making it easier, like for African to cross the country or visit the country. And my question for Your Excellency, what's the example of the mindsets you can give, like, to African leaders to make it easier for Africans to connect and build opportunities together? Thank you.
Right. Well, to begin with, I don't want even remotely to be perceived like I'm thinking for other people. I think for myself, and together with the Rwandans, we think for ourselves. We can think together with others if they want, so if they invite us, if they think it is helpful. But we always want to do our best at home here. But in the meetings we have had, and there have been several at different government official levels of different countries on our continent, to talk about this visa-free or making really ease of crossing borders and so on and so forth. We give our opinion, not only our opinion, but example of what we are doing ourselves, so that other people either may, because what we are telling them, first we demonstrate that we have not encountered any serious problems by making it easy for people to cross our border, in or out. We just demonstrate that. We haven't found any problems. What we have discovered are only benefits. And that's what we share with the people. We tell them, for us, in our experience, we have discovered the benefits. And we tell our brothers and sisters, why wouldn't you want these benefits yourselves? But that's why we stop, because we can't do anything for anybody else. So, yeah, we keep doing what we think is best for us, or even for the continent, that is within our means.